Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jana Duggar on being guarded while dating and how she knew husband Stephen Wisman was the one, exclusive. Jana Duggar is opening up about falling in love with husband Stephen Wisman. In an exclusive interview with People, the former Counting On star, 34, says that she had been a slower mover on the romantic side of the relationship with Stephen, which has evolved over time. The two knew each other for years, having been longtime family friends. Jana's brother, Jeremiah, even married Stephen's sister, Hannah, in 2022. Jana and Stephen, who wed in Prairie Grove, Arkansas, on Thursday, August 15, in a classic, elegant ceremony, reconnected in recent years when they briefly dated before breaking things off. They ultimately rekindled the romance early this year and were engaged on June 15. Speaking to People, Jana says it was Stephen's character and his consistency that made her realize he was the one. "I think it's just been over time, his character, his coming back, still loving me no matter what," Jana, the eldest child of Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle Duggar, says. "I know we have a big crazy family and that requires still kind of putting up with a lot of things. Unlike my goodness, there are not too many people that do that. He must really, I guess, genuinely care about me, and I haven't seen that." Related, Jana Duggar marries Stephen Wisman in elegant Arkansas wedding. "I prayed for this for years." Exclusive. Jana adds that while it takes her a while to open up to others, Stephen has remained a good friend over the years and has continued to be that through ups and downs and not pressuring me in a lot of ways. "I think I've just been so guarded and just trying to protect and not really hurt again," she adds. When Stephen, 31, asked her out earlier this year, it was via a handwritten letter. "I think people would probably seem like it's very weird, but I thought it was so sweet. Honestly, I think if he would have texted me, I would have been more like, 'Hey, dude, kind of get lost. I'm not really interested.'" She continues, "But I don't know, something about it really hit me. And I was like, he's so sweet. He really has been there, and how had I not noticed it and realized he is great? And I do love him, and I need to be willing to open up and to allow that." Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what POPLA has to offer, from juicy celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. Jana adds that it took a few of those moments for her to realize that Stephen was the one for her, and the initial letter led to 2-3 letters back and forth before we started texting again, and just kind of on a basic friendship level there. And then it progressed quickly just because we were like, "Okay, yeah, no, we do like each other. Let's just move on," she adds. Ahead of the couple's 500 guest nuptials, which included Jessa Duggar Seawald as the bridesmaid of honor, while her sister-in-law, Abby Duggar, and sisters Joy Anna Forsyth, Johanna Duggar, Jinger Duggar Vulo, and Jordan Duggar were bridesmaids, Jana told POPL she was beyond excited for her bid day. "I think it is one of those things that all girls envision someday," says Jana. "For me, it felt like, okay, it's never coming. But now it's starting to sink in. Reality is starting to set in. And I'm like, wow, this truly is something that I've dreamed of. And just to see it coming about is incredible and kind of hard to believe. It's a dream come true." Jana Duggar, one of the most prominent members of the famous Duggar family, recently opened up about her cautious approach to dating and what ultimately led her to realize that her husband, Stephen Wisman, was the one. For years, Jana's love life has been the subject of much speculation, as she was the last unmarried Duggar sibling over 30. Her journey to finding love was not a hurried one, and in a candid interview, she shared how her guarded approach to relationships allowed her to understand herself, set boundaries, and prioritize her values. In a family known for its strict courtship rules and conservative values, Jana's journey has always been a bit different. While her siblings married young, Jana waited patiently, often deflecting questions about her single status with grace. She explained that her guarded nature was born out of a desire to find a meaningful connection rather than simply meeting expectations. "I knew that I wanted to get married, but I didn't want to rush into something just because it seemed like the next step," Jana shared. "I didn't want to get swept up in the idea of love or marriage without really taking the time to understand who I am and what I'm looking for in a partner. That's why I chose to be cautious." Growing up in a large family, Jana observed the relationships of her siblings and parents closely. "I saw how my parents built a strong foundation for their relationship based on mutual respect, love, and a shared faith," she said. I also saw my siblings build their own families and experience the highs and lows that come with it. It gave me a lot of perspective on what it takes to build a strong, healthy relationship. For Jana, being guarded was more than just an approach to dating. It was a protective measure. I needed to make sure that I wasn't entering into a relationship out of a need for validation or societal expectations, she explained. It was about ensuring that I had clarity, strength, and a sense of self-worth that wasn't reliant on being with someone else. In her early 30s, Jana was already defying the norms of her family's community. The Duggar family famously adheres to a conservative Christian lifestyle where courtship is often a precursor to early marriage. Yet, Jana chose to take a different path, one that meant saying no to relationships that didn't align with her values or goals. Patience was key, she noted. I prayed a lot about finding the right person, and I had to trust that God's timing was better than mine. I knew deep down that if I waited, I would eventually meet someone who was truly right for me. Her journey wasn't without challenges. Being part of a public family added an extra layer of pressure to Jana's dating life. Over the years, rumors circulated, linking her to various suitors, but Jana kept her personal life private. It was hard at times, hearing all these assumptions about my life, she admitted. People always had opinions about why I was still single, and sometimes it was difficult not to let those voices affect me. But I reminded myself that I needed to live my life for me, not for anyone else. Eventually, that patience paid off when she met Stephen Wisman. The two were introduced through mutual friends, and Jana was immediately struck by his humility, kindness, and faith. She described their connection as easy and natural, a feeling she hadn't experienced before. When I met Stephen, it was different, she said with a smile. I felt an immediate sense of peace around him. He didn't try to impress me or put on a facade. He was genuine, and that's something I really valued. In a world where people often try to present a polished version of themselves, Stephen was just himself, and that really resonated with me. Their relationship blossomed over time, built on a foundation of friendship, shared beliefs, and mutual respect. Jana appreciated that Stephen respected her boundaries and understood her guarded nature. He didn't try to rush me or push me beyond what I was comfortable with, she shared. Stephen was patient, and he valued getting to know me at my own pace. As the months passed, Jana began to realize that Stephen might be the one. She felt a deeper connection that went beyond chemistry or surface-level attraction. I knew he was the one when I felt that I could be completely myself with him, she said. He made me feel safe, and he embraced my dreams, my fears, and my quirks. I didn't feel like I had to hold back or pretend to be someone I wasn't. I could just be me. For Jana, the decision to commit to Stephen was rooted in a deep sense of faith and trust. I prayed a lot about our relationship, and I felt a peace that I hadn't felt before, she explained. I knew that we could build a life together centered around faith, love, and family. It wasn't just about finding someone to marry, it was about finding someone who shared my values and who wanted the same things out of life.